to make the videos because I knew I wouldn't be here. That's why it maybe seemed a little, I know I made mistakes as I was doing the video. So I was like, it is Sunday night. I should not be at school. Okay. So we did question 1 together, right?
Yes.
On the video, where we talked about how you identify the variables first. Then you create these 2 linear equations. And then you solve them, right? I used elimination. I think later on in one of them I used substitution because it was just like done for me. But then you just solve them like we have been this whole time, right? So we found out that adult tickets were 8, student tickets were 14 for this first situation, right? Then we have these 2 ladies selling pies, right? So I knew that I had 2 types of pies, apple and lemon meringue. X was apple, Y is lemon meringue. I just made X apple because it's the first one they told me about. That's how I decided which was X and which was Y. That's really what it came down to. Okay. I knew that 6 apple plus 4 lemon cost $80 and 6 apple plus 5 lemon cost $94. Some of you might have already figured out the answer without doing anything. You can kind of reason it, but if you didn't, I multiplied the top one by -6. So that I could then cancel out the x's. And then it was pretty easy here. There's just going to be 1y equals 14. And then I substitute that 14 back into the equation with the y, and I found out x was 4. I don't know why the apple pies are so much less expensive than lemon meringue, but that's just how this one worked out. So 4 and 14. Yeah? How'd you guys do on that one?
Really good.
We're good so far?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Problem number 3, tickets to a dance competition. Here, let me make sure I cover this up so you guys can't see all the other ones. Okay. Just give it a second to focus. Okay. All right, so I had adult and student tickets again. I made X adult, Y student. 3X plus 3Y was $69. 5X plus 3Y was $91. Basically the same thing I did for number 2. I just chose to multiply the top one by -1. Do you guys need a second to copy this?
Yes.
Okay. The video was long yesterday. Like, I know it was a long video, so I didn't know how much you guys would have done. Did everybody turn to a neighbor and say this is not homework?
Yeah.
Okay, good. That was part of the Canvas. So then once I had those 2 equations, I used elimination again. I had 2 x's left, and I had 22. X equals 11. And then I put that 11 back into the equation to find my y value. Number 4, we've got tulips and daffodils. I made X tulips, Y daffodils. I just decided to multiply the bottom one by -2 so I could cross out the y's, which was fine because I ended up with a negative and a negative, which makes positive value for the tulips. And then I put that 7 back in, solved for y, and I got $13 for the daffodils. How are we feeling? A little better than yesterday? Starting to see like a pretty solid pattern procedure here? Ish. Any questions right now? No? Moving along, Mrs. Marsh? Okay. We have a field trip with vans and buses. Right? So I made X vans, Y buses, just because I was told about the vans first. Made my 2 equations. Right? Did we do this one in the notes? I can't remember because I just filled out the whole thing. Okay? Don't worry about these plain ones. Don't. There's not going to be anything like that on the actual quiz, but it's still kind of interesting to see how it works out. You guys all know that, right? Like, if you're going one direction, it's going to be faster than going back because of the winds, the tailwinds. That's what they call them, tailwinds. Helping the plane along. Okay, moving on. I think we did this one as well, right? That's where I noticed that I needed that number in there. Okay, then we got to the first number, second number problems. Everybody loves these, right? I also found my mistake on this one when I was doing it. Am I remembering that correctly? It's been a few days. But I had them flip-flopped, right? So I had to make sure 2x. I'm going to keep going until I see a hand go up. Do you guys have any questions about this right now? Okay, number 9. One number is 4 less than 11 times a number. So I think we talked about how I subtracted that. This was already a substitution. So I just put this right here where x was. Right. When I know the sum, it's pretty easy to find the other one because I can say, well, 8 plus what gives me 92? 84. Okay. I don't think I didn't do number 10. So let's do number 10 now. What are going to be my x and y values? Corey and Stan. X will be Corey. Y will be Stan. Okay. So we know that Corey has 24 more than twice as much as Stan. Okay, so x equals, right, 24 plus 2y. Because y is how much money Stan has. Together, they have $150. Anybody want to guess which method I'm going to use here? What do you think, Avery? Sure, I'm going to put this right here. I'm going to have 24 plus 2y plus y equals 150. So I know that Stan has $42. we know that Corey has more than him because it's 24 plus twice as much, right? So I'm going to say x equals 24 plus 2 times 42. Does it work? Does 108 plus 42 equal 150? Anybody get that on their own yesterday? Nice job. Were you guys like completely silent yesterday, like not even acknowledging each other, or did you kind of work together? Hopefully, yeah, hopefully you worked together. What time?
We only had like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it wasn't a whole lot of time. And I certainly didn't want anybody going home like crying math tears last night about this. No math tears. All right, we did number 11 together. All right, that was kind of painful, but we did it. I told you to skip number 12. We're going to do that together now. Okay. A rectangle is 5 times as long as it is wide. If the rectangle were 24 centimeters shorter and the width 24 centimeters wider, it would be square. What are its dimensions? Yikes. So that's why I had you skip it. Because, I mean, Addie, like, your face is perfect. Like, I don't even know where to start, right? So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to draw a rectangle. Right? And we're going to use the information. Oh, that's not a great rectangle. Let's make it a little bit more obvious. Okay. So the first thing we know is that the length is 5 times longer than the width. Okay, so 5W and W, right? Width is 5W, width is W, length is 5W. Everybody with me? Okay, you with me? Should I call you Jamal? Mm-hmm. Did you really think nobody would find out?
No, I knew someone was gonna find out.
Then you were okay with that?
Yeah.
Wait, what?
How do you think Miss Pattison felt when she came in on Sunday and saw that? Probably not very good. Just going to throw that out there. Okay, if the rectangle were 24 centimeters shorter and the width were 24 centimeters wider. So if we took 24 off the lengths and we added 24 to the widths, it would be a square. What are the dimensions? And so this is where it gets a little weird. This is where you have to make that leap. What do we know about a square? All the sides are the same length. So if these are, this is a 24, I know you can't tell. If these are now a square's dimensions, that tells me that 5W plus 24 equals 5W minus 24 equals W plus 24. Because a square has all 4 lengths the same, right? All sides are the same length. So by doing this, we now know that these are all the same length. And now I can solve for W. And then that will help me find the length. Okay? So I'm going to subtract W here. Then I'm going to add 24 here. So I could set these now equal to each other because it tells me now it's a square. I changed it from a rectangle to a square. So this tells me the width of my original rectangle was 12. What's the length? Hayden?
60.
60. How did you get that?
I just multiplied 5 times 12.
Yeah. It told me it's 5 times as long as it is wide.
But isn't it?
So I went back to the original dimensions to find that out. Now, I can test it, right? 12 plus 24 is 36. And then 5 times 12 minus 24 is also 36. So that would give me a square that would each be the lengths of 36. So we took like a rectangle and we smushed it to make it a square. Yeah? Okay, we'll finish this after lunch. Leave your things, whatever you want to leave. Have a nice lunch. Thanks for being good listeners.